Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Thanks for being here. I'm going to take a small aside here to talk about something that comes up a lot throughout the years in the comments. It's coming up right now, and I've been discussing it to some degree within the Go Show. But I guess I want to share a little bit of my own experience, and maybe it'll help you too. In the early years of my practice, I've been one of those people who's always enjoyed study, whether it was in school or independent. I love to amass as much information, data, what I used to call knowledge. I called myself a knowledge hound. Whenever there was a subject I wasn't familiar with, I loved doing deep dives into all of the work that was out there, trying to, in the belief that if I just intellectually got my head around other intellectuals, other people far more experienced and expert than I, that I could glean the essence of anything. I remember friends used to ask me, how do you know these things? How do you know? And I would say things like, well, everything's just a matter of application. You could do it, anyone could do it. You just have to apply yourself, right? And I believed that for many, many, many years. And I still do. But I think it in a different way now. And so that's what I want to explore with you for a moment. Since my very early practice, perhaps we would say it's my karma. I hate writing things off like that though, because it sounds flippant. But in a way, it's kind of funny because perhaps we all do this, but I've noticed in my life that from time to time I seem to attract people who want to demonstrate to me, and I don't know if this is conscious or not, but this is how it appears to me. They want to demonstrate their, what's the word? Their scholarship. They want to show me, look, I've researched this and perhaps better than you have. And I want you to understand what I know because with it, I'll challenge what you know until you can quell all my doubts. If you can do that, then I guess I'll have to believe it. Or I'll have to give you credit for knowing. Or it may all be done very genuinely in order to get to an answer. But this is what I want to say. You can get so caught up in trying to find an answer in research, in study, in words, you'll never ever get to the point. And this is tragic. This is what's known in Buddhism, and as we talk and read through the Gosho, through the sutras, and we run into this term called Ichantikas. Understand that you may not want to hear this as somebody who enjoys scholarship, is that you are what Buddhism talks about as somebody of incorrigible disbelief. Because your search, your adamant, vehement search for an answer is what drives you, not getting the answer. Do you see how human this is? This is the human avarice. This is the human mind of attachments and discriminations and compartmentalizing and just if I just had the right knowledge, the right word, the right this, the right that, then I would get it. It's like the person who wants to play tennis and can't step onto the court until they have the right shoes, the right socks, the right underwear, the right cup, the right balls, the right racket. The racket isn't tensioned right. It's always something else that's preventing you from having that glorious, wonderful experience of tennis. I'm laughing because I've been there. Perhaps all of us have had that some moment. Some of us are more driven that way. Others may give up more easily, and that can be tragic as well. But look, if you get anything out of Buddhist study, Buddhism in general, relax. Because Buddhism is about the nature of everything. And the reason it's about the nature of everything is so that you can let it go. Because the ultimate nature of everything is that it exists. This human experience exists. Whatever words or books or scholarship you want to put around it, it exists. And Buddhism just wants to do one simple thing, is to make you stop, figuratively, and look around and be amazed. It's really that simple. And our big human brains, no matter how much information we feed into them, if we don't use that human brain to train it back toward itself and say, just look at how amazing everything is. It's not understandable. If you dig into it, you just keep digging. You can get lost in the digging. And that sense of loss in whatever you choose to dig is what makes you sad. It's what makes you suffer. It's what makes you want more, want less, want different, stop wanting. Shakyamuni ran into this all the time. He would say, stop conceiving of the self. And people would say, well, I spent a year meditating on no self, and now that's all I want is a non-self. Yeah. Oh, no, don't do that. Just stop identifying. Okay, so everything I do now is about not identifying. No, you're missing the point. It's like my fish analogy. I know I did a video on that at some point. I talked about it before too. You will not understand what your own Buddha nature looks like until you set your own brilliant mind up to focus on it rather than your mind. This is why Nichiren's advent is so critical for everybody, because you don't need to be an intellectual giant. That doesn't get in your, well, it can get in your way, as I'm illustrating. But until you sit in front of Gohanzen and chant Namu Myoho Renge Kyo with the resolve that you're going to touch, you're going to be in, you're going to experience your own Buddha nature, that's the Ichinen, that's the power you need to use when you chant the Gohanzen. And chant until you feel it. You will feel it. And when you do, it will be so wordless. It will be so unexplainable. I guarantee you, all you'll be able to do is sit and wonder. I know for me, oftentimes when I get to that point, when I fuse with Gohonzon, and I stop chanting, and by the way, you can feel it while you're chanting, and it's like traveling through timeless space, if that makes any sense. But of course, it won't make sense until you feel it, until you know it. None of these words make any sense. But for me, when I stop chanting is when it just really wallops me. When I stop fusing with Gohonzon and I turn away and I look around me, is when I can't stop giggling. I'm telling you, you look like a crazy person. It is just so, and so I understand words like liberation or awakening, but they're just words. They're so, I don't know, nothing compared to the actual sense of it, the actual perceptive experience of it. And it's there. It's there all the time. It's there whether you're tripping over car parts or you're shopping at the mall or you're arguing with a friend. It's there. It's there all the time. You're just not experiencing it. And the more you experience it, the more you kind of have an expectation of it. This is where things start to shift. This is where karma changes. This is where everything in your life seems to be different. And certain types of influences just don't show up in your life anymore. And you draw other experiences to you. This is the conversation about karma in Buddhism specifically, not in Jainism or Hinduism or golf or whatever. Buddhism has a very specific idea of karma. But there's words again, right? Just experience your own Buddhism. That's all I want for you. I want you to feel that giggle. It's incredible. But no matter how many books you read or how many videos you watch or get yourself your own Gohonzon, enshrine it with no distractions of anything else around your Butsudan. See, there's no pictures of my favorite this or that anywhere around. Just focus on your Buddhahood. Demand it. Sit in front of your Gohonzon, chant with the Ichinen, with the resolve. I want to know my Buddha nature. I want to know it. I want to feel it. That kind of Ichinen, that kind of will. Don't get angry. Although, ultimately, that won't matter either. I'm just trying to direct you to the quickest possible way for you to get that tingle and know it. Because once you even get just a tiny taste of it, and I love you if you're one of those academic, I know everything, I've read everything, and there's a lot I'll never know. All of those, all the doubts, bring it all. Because once you taste just a little fringe of something's there. Then you'll do it. Then no amount of books will satisfy. But scholarship is good too, because when you feel that and then you start reading, you'll go, I get what he's trying to describe here. I get what this Bodhisattva was talking about. Ooh, I get this. Or, wait a minute, I don't get that. Take it to Gohonzon. Don't just sit there and stew on what you think you know. That's your human mind. It's trying to go, which cubby do I put this in? What? That's suffering. That is suffering. Doubt is suffering. Sit down. Quiet. Light some candles. Burn some incense. Chant. Do gongyo. Chant again. There will be no doubt. Because when you experience something, If you want to learn how to play football, you can read all the books on football and interview all the football people in the world. But until you're out there on the green grass and you get tackled with a ball in your hands trying to get to a goal and help your teammates, and you taste freshly cut grasses through your helmet, and you have that adrenaline flowing and that whole thing working in you, not until that moment will you have a much closer idea of what it is to really play football. So that's what I'm asking you to do. Great, learn the plays, get the uniform, do all the stuff. But sit down and chant in front of your gohonzon and demand to know. Demand to know. That's what earthly desires our enlightenment is about. Use your earthly human mind as a motivator to get you there. Once you're there, all of that other stuff, I guess, maybe that's why I giggle, I don't know. It's just, we work so hard to get to something that's so already there and beautiful and amazing. I don't know how, I'm out of words. Just please, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Just try it. Try it for a month. Try it for, how long is a university class? Before you know if you want to be a this or that. Or a semester in high school. Give it a shot. See what you get out of it. You'll get something out of it. It won't be wasted time. Whether you want to pursue it after that or not, I mean, that's up to you. Right? So, enough blah, blah, blah. And back to the Go Show. Thanks for participating. Thanks for listening. I hope you can use any of that to help your practice, further your practice. Let me know. Tell me in the comments. I'll do whatever my human existence can to help you expand your experience. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you.